Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Tonight, we are going to take some of my leftover embroidery floss. I got a whole bin of it here, and turn it into fun little pom-poms. This is my favorite thing to do with my leftover floss. When you're done with a project, you might have extra little snippets lying around, and this is something that you can definitely do. So thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. For about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end so you can be part of the whole process along the way and come and make with me. So on Saturday we actually had a bonus stitch along. We finished up our, this is the embroidery of the month, so we finished up the cute little Stitch and Hedgie bag. So I finished embroidering that with you guys over on Saturday. We didn't get it done the week before. And then we made an adorable little lining for it as well. So we sewed it all in, and I chose two super favorite fabrics. And then we also put a little pocket in there as well. So very, very fun, a fun way to finish your Hedgie drawstring bag. So I've seen a lot of you guys post it in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. Keep posting them. They are looking so cute. I love the linings that you guys are making for them. And the video is up on YouTube if you wanted to see how we made that lining. It is a long marathon video that we did, but that's what fast forward is for if you want to see how we actually did all the lining, and feel free to ask any questions as well on that if you like. But I had a lot of embroidery floss left over from that. I threw it in my embroidery floss bin that I have going on here, and I'm going to use the Clover pom-pom maker to construct some pom-poms here tonight out of my leftover floss, and I think we're going to even try and do some designs in them as well. I'll show you how the pom-pom maker works with one, and then we'll get some intricate shenanigans happening. So, all right, thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to flip you around. There we are. Okay. So, you may have noticed that this is a little different than what we normally do. I have our crafting time set up in weeks, and the first full week of the month we work on the Granny Squares quilt. So some of you might be expecting to do the Granny Squares quilt, but this week is split half of June and half of July, so I'm calling the first full week of July next week, not this week. So this week, we'll just hang out and finish some other little projects that we have going on here. So I might bring the koala quilt out. I think I might make some more leaders and enders and sew half square triangles together. So we'll do a few things. Here again is that cute little pocket on the inside here. But all right, you guys, let's work on this. So I'm gonna get right down here. Okay, so this is a Clover pom-pom maker. Hold on, I'm gonna try and keep it in focus here. Okay, so this is a Clover pom-pom maker, and you can see it has a couple parts going on with it. It actually comes apart this way too. But what you do is you wind the floss on each side, and then you actually cut through the middle. That's what this groove is. And then we're going to tie it with a knot going through that middle as well. And we'll be able to create something kind of like this. So I'm excited about this. All right. Hold on a moment here, you guys. Just trying to fix the camera for a sec here. Oop. There we go. Okay. All right. So first off, I have this one kind of started, and I am just wrapping it around this edge. So for this first one, I'm going to just keep going with this. I have a whole pile of purple in here, so I thought I'd keep going with this massive amount of purple. So this came from some project where I clearly had a lot extra. I will, Tracy. So Tracy's saying, will I have a Finish It Friday this week? So this whole week is almost a Finish It Friday. So if there's something you'd like me to work on, let me know. And that could be our Finish It Friday. So I'm just wrapping this around and around and around. And I'm not really worried about my where the starting and ending floss lands. I'm just going to kind of keep wrapping it in there. So there, this is kind of stopping right now. This is already pretty thick. You can go, I could go a little bit thicker. You don't want it too thin because you do want like a substantial poof. So like let's do one more. And I'll show you how I started and stopped this. I think I'm looking to carry these pom-pom makers in the shop just because they are so fun to do this with. So this last one ended up here. I'm just going to kind of catch it with the next piece and just keep wrapping it around. So it's just so fun and easy. This is definitely something you could do watching a movie for sure. I'm trying to keep the same thickness. You know, I want this part as thick as this part, as thick as this part. So I am kind of getting these ends, you know, traveling over to this side, making sure we got enough over here. All right, and then when you're done, when you feel like you've got kind of a big enough area, then you can just close that, and it can just hang out there for now. So this is the other side. I'll show you how the construction of one of these pom-poms happens when we work on the, I think we're gonna do a design in here, I think. All right, these guys seem a little bit small, so those are gonna go in the trash. The other thing I like about this is I feel like I'm cleaning up, using up my stuff, cleaning up little snippets. All right, so these do separate, but you do want them together while you're doing your wrapping. Let me just page down to see you guys' comments. Oh, Deborah. So Deborah says, be sure to show the new folks your Chad Kitty pom-pom. So like I said, after we're done with this first one, I'll show you how you can actually make designs in here. And I think we might try like a rainbow or something. I think I can manage that. But we actually made one of my parents' cat, Chad. So we actually did a whole face for Chad. I mean, that was I had a really good time doing that. That was a challenge for sure. But you can actually, you know, it doesn't have to be random like this, random colors here and there. You can actually decide what you want where. But it's a little bit of a mind bender. So I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit. And and she's saying show Chad Kitty Pom Pom. I actually gave that to my brother for Christmas. So my brother doesn't get home very often, and I thought he'd want a little bit of home, so I gave him Chad Kitty. The Chad Kitty Pom Pom. Oh, Grace is saying that she lost me over on Facebook. You might just have to log off and come back in. That could be. It looks like people are still over there, but I'm glad you found me over here as well. Oh, Rebecca's saying, put some pink on it. I can definitely do that. And, you know, I'm winding two colors at once. That's just because I have kind of these little rolls of them together. You can do one color. Some fun things, like with this, I have mostly one color, but then I put a couple specks of different colors in, and I think we'll give that a try with this too. So this is mostly purple, but let's add a couple flecks of something else here and there. And how we do that is I just find a color I want a fleck of. So here's some pink. I'm literally, again, if you guys aren't knowing, this is my bin of scraps. So whenever I finish an embroidery project, you know, I just throw it in here. It's a whole pile of just scraps. So, you know, if I want some pink, I find some pink. Oop. I do try to use use floss from my bin when I work on projects, but every once in a while it just fills up. I can't use up the floss fast enough, so this is a good way to do that. So all right, I'm giving it a little bit of a pink. So maybe there's a couple pieces here. So there'll be a fleck of pink here, and maybe we put a fleck of pink here. See, this is a short piece. I'm just adding it to the mix here. You know, what if I'm going to wrap it in more purple. I have so many of these little things. So this is excess from old projects, like I said. So I'm going to wrap this pink in some more purple, so then it'll look like it's surrounded by purple. And I know on the other side, I put a couple different colored flecks in there as well, so I think that'll be interesting to see what pops up over there. So I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. I had a great time stitching and sewing with you guys on Saturday. It is fun to every once in a while do those long marathon type stitch-alongs. All right, let's just grab, here's a little piece of yellow. Ooh, I think it's little, who knows? Oh, there we go. Let's add another little color fleck in here. So I'll just throw it right in the middle. We can spread it around too if we want. It doesn't all have to be in the same spot. Ooh, this will be kind of fun. Ooh, pretty. All right, I got more of this purple laying around. Let's use it up. Ugh, this one's all chopped up. Got little... Ooh, yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. It's a chance for me to use up scraps. So even this little scrap, this little basically piece of garbage, I can wrap around. What is going on here? This is an odd thing. There we go. Just had a couple little flecks in there. So let's flesh out this side a little bit. So, like I said, to do an actual picture in here, like if we want to make an actual, like, rainbow in here, for example, it's a little bit of a mind bender, but we're going to give it a try, I think. Gosh, I don't know why I kept all these little things. It's like it feels like I must have snipped some pieces for my project and then, like garbage, and then just accidentally threw them in here instead. Even this little bit will go around once. All right, let's just see if these sides kind of compare. Oh, it looks like I still need more on here. I'm trying to get both about the same size. I think, let's see what getting this on here, what happens with this. Oh, Grace says, I love when you do Saturday stitch along. Yeah, that was fun. And, you know, the difference between those is I'll just go until the project's done. So I think we were ultimately on for 4 hours on Saturday. I know we cut out in the middle, and I had to steal John's phone to finish it up. But I'm happy you guys came back, and we were able to do that. All right, I think let's just leave it here. So here's the next stage for your pom-pom. So we got both of our sides wrapped. So then we can put it together like this. Next up is, remember those grooves that were in here? Like those 2 feet? Those 2 feet actually separate. We're going to actually cut in that groove. So this is where you want a really nice, sharp scissors. So if you got your like fabric only scissors or something, your really good scissors, time to break that out. And I'm going to break out my favorite scissors. I love the scissors so much. Okay. We're going to cut right down the middle of what we did. And now at this point, we do not want to separate it like this again, because it'll all fall apart. So keep those together. And we are going to cut straight through all of this. And it's kind of crazy. But you can kind of see we are half of this is going this way and the other half is going this way. We can see some of those flecks. All right. Look, it's just so poofy already. All right, and let's do this side. Oh, good scissors for this part is going to make all the difference, though, for sure. All right, just double check that we don't have any hanging out here yet. It looks like we are good. So there, now we have kind of like these two little funny pancakes here. So now we actually need to tie these shut on the inside. So I think let's just grab, I have another piece of purple here. I'm gonna just grab one piece. All right, that's plenty long. You know, you can cut it a little bit longer if you want to use it for like a tail to tie it onto something. But you can actually do that later. So we're going to put right into this groove, we are going to put our thread. So the thread will go all the way around. There, so I have it in the middle all the way around there. I'm actually going to yank on it so it pulls to the center. All right, so now I'm on the inside of this here. I'm still not going to open it. Now we just want to tie a really nice knot. See how that's pulling it together already? How are those like fisherman knots or something? You go twice this way and it stays solid? I don't know. Let's give that a try. Okay. Well, we're going to go like that there. So we have our knot in the middle now. So that knot, in theory, should be holding this whole thing together. So now there's one more feature of this contraption, this clover pom-pom maker, and it's that it pulls apart. So let's first flip up these guys. So now that we're tied in the middle, we can flip these up. So then you'll see like the two sides will be able to come back together. And let's flip up this side. There's some of that yellow and pink flecks in there. Okay, and you can see where we did that knot in the middle there. And now this whole thing pulls apart. There we go. You got a yank on it. It looks like you're doing it wrong, but that's what it's meant to do. You pull it apart like that, and then you can put it back together on that axis point there. And this is basically our pom-pom. It looks kind of crazy right now, but I'm going to kind of hold it in the middle here. We're going to just give it a little shake, and this will start poofing it up. We can start, you know, where you still can see that center line there. You can start just kind of blending around that. Oh my God, it's so pretty. So I do actually kind of really like the look of where you try and do kind of one color, but you have these flecks. It's kind of similar to this. I did it mostly this orange. Okay, so now this is the part where you can start shaping it, but what I like to do before then is this. So you'll notice a little bit of a difference between these two. So this one, all the strands are just all by themselves. Hold on a sec here. There we go. So you can see they're all kind of fluffy and individual, whereas this one, they're all, you can see the 6 strands of embroidery floss together still like that. So we are going to make all these little pieces that are 6 strands. We are going to blend them together so they're all one strand. And you'll see what I mean in a sec here. It makes the whole thing look really kind of silky and fun. All right, so what we're going to do is you are going to actually use a kind of a bristly brush. So I happen to have this just this like round brush here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the knot area again, and I'm going to brush out these 6 strands of embroidery, the 6-strand embroidery floss. And what this is going to do is it's going to separate all that floss, the 6 strands, into one strand, and it makes it all just super fuzzy and silky and just extra pretty, I think. And it just kind of blends things together. So you'll have little pieces fall out here and there. I wouldn't worry too much about that. And long pieces like this, we'll trim all those down. But first, I want to just kind of give it a little... See, here you can tell the difference between this side where we've brushed it versus this side where it's still kind of chunked together. It's just really fun and silky, I think. All right. I'm going to go on auto here for a sec, you guys. Hold on. I'm still trying to work on that auto focusing thing that it's doing here. So let's, hopefully it won't get too dizzying. We'll see how it goes. I just want to be able to show you how silky it is up close there. All right. And you still want to, I mean, you want to be gentle with this. You don't want to pull all the threads out, because it is just being held by that one middle. All right, I'm going to give it a little shake. It's cute. All right, so you can see all the little extra fluffles hanging out around there. We want to fix those for a sec here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our nice scissors again here, and this is where you can start shaping it. So you can even make it so it doesn't look like a circle. You could make it egg-shaped. You could make it smaller. Like, you could trim this whole thing smaller and smaller and smaller, and it'll get thicker and thicker. But for now, I'm just going to kind of trim off anything that makes it look not so round. So all those little extra bits. Ooh, look, there's a little speck of green in there. That's kind of cute. Oh, it's definitely, Carol says, so satisfying. Yeah, it's just so silly and fun. And I mean, okay, so what do you use these for? So I use them for wrapping presents. Like, I'll just put it on a birthday present or a Christmas present or something. I think it's just a fun extra touch. You can make garland out of them. So if you did a bunch, you could just, yeah, do a cute garland. You can use them for like a zipper pull. Oops, I cut a little bit much off there. Feel free to give it a shake. Woo, look at all that. All right. I'm going to start sneezing soon, probably. I'm making some fuzzles. But yeah, if you didn't even want it a circle, you could make it, egg-shaped. You could just really kind of shape this how you want. So there we are. That is an embroidery floss pom-pom. and I kept this long because then I can tie it to something else. So like if I did want to tie it to a present, I'd wrap the present with, other thread or ribbon or something, and then I'd tie this around the ribbon so I'd have, have some cute little dudes on the top a little bit. But yeah, so I think that's fun. So, all right, you guys, I am going to break this down for you a little bit more if you want to get a little bit more intricate with your pom-pom maker. So first, we kind of have to understand the construction of this a little bit. So we have to think of, I think I'm going to draw this out for you a little bit too. So we got to think of each of these green things as the front and back of your piece. So if you're looking at it straight on, this is your front. So like cutting it in half this way. This is your front, and this is your back, right? So this is your front. This is the axis in the middle, and then this is the back. So front and back. So you're going to do this piece separately, then this piece. So just how we wound the one side first, and then we wound the second. Think about it as your front of your piece and your back. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to just draw. Ultimately, we have a circle for the front and a circle for the back, right? So we're going to design stuff here now. So we're going to have a circle for our front and our circle for the back. All right, back, front. Okay, so let's look at our front. Let's just decide that this is the front here. The other thing we need to pay attention to if we're designing is our axis line down the middle. So remember when we cut through this, half of it went this way and half of it went this way. The thing that we wrap the last, like the thing furthest out, went the furthest out this way. So you got to think about it as like here's our circle, and we're wrapping around and around and around and around our circle. And when we cut through it, it expands, and you have this side of the circle and this side of the circle. So the thing that you wound closest to the middle, like the thing we wind closest to the middle, which is what it would be closest to the center, closest to the axis line. So if this is our axis line, whatever we go closest on, like touching this green, will touch the axis point. And as we wrap and we get farther and farther out, that's where we get on the farther out of the circle. So in theory, if we think about this opening like this, and that's when we cut with the scissors, then we should be able to design a little bit. So if I go like this, if I draw a rainbow on my hand and I go like this, that's actually what we're designing. So let's do that. Let's pretend we're making a rainbow here. Okay, here is our axis, and let's say, I want my rainbow to be flat, like I want it to go like this, right? So let's just draw the bottom of the rainbow. And that's going to have to be like the middle there. And let's just go like this. Let's make it like a 3-color rainbow. Let's do there. Let's make actually we're gonna put one more in here. So this is gonna be like we want this as our outside color. And this is like our outside color, and this is our outside color. So it'll look, when we're done, like we have like a little rainbow floating here. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. So if we look at this from the front, what we need to do, and I know this is a little crazy, but I think it will be, I think it'll make sense. I think we'll be able to get this to work. So we need to actually draw this on here. So we have this, everything here and below has to be the same color. So everything like here and below will make our background color. And then this part, remember, whatever's closest to the green is in the center. So this center here. So we're going to need to put a little bit of our outer here. And you can actually even measure, like from here to there, we need to have some of this color. And then here on the outside, because this part is connected to the axis, so is this part and this part, we need a little bit of that next color touching the green and then wrapping around the inner color. So as we travel further and further out, the further and further out we are wrapping. So this is probably crazy town, but let's give it a try. And remember, this is just the front. So this is just one half of the pom-pom. We can do a totally different design on the other half if we want. So, all right, I'm going to give this a go. I have not tried this quite like this, but let's give it a go. So we're going to get way more specific with our color. And again, I am still using scraps. So we could see, oh, we could do this bottom maybe green, like it's the ground. That would be kind of cool. Let's do a couple different greens just because I'm seeing green. Let's just pick out from my scraps various greens for this part. And then let's do like blue for this top area and this bottom area. And I gotta tell you, I'm hoping this turns out. I have not done this a lot, and it's still kind of a mind bender for me. So I'm hoping I'm gonna get this right. But if it doesn't get right, we'll still have a cute pom pom. So I'm not too worried. All right, I'm just splitting up some blues and greens. I must have more blue or something down in here. Look at this mess. All right, here's some more green. Tons of green, sheesh. All right, let's see how far that gets us. There's our green. Oh, here's some chunks of blue. Good. Maybe we'll do blue and purple. Has a little bit of purple in. Ugh, I hope my bin feels lighter. Like it has less stuff in it when we're done here. Oh, look, here's some pretty teal. All right, so we'll blend all this together and make the sky. Let's see. So this is the sky. This is the ground. So sky, ground. Maybe that purple's a little dark, but I don't know. We'll see what else we got in here. That teal is pretty. All right, let's do this rainbow. I have some red. Let's do that for the top. And then maybe let's do orange in the middle. Just, I'm trying to find colors that contrast these a little bit. And what about for this bottom color? Gosh, I have kind of a lot of white. Would white be really weird? An orange, red, orange, white? I have a little bit of yellow, but I don't know if I have enough to do anything with. I'm kind of tempted to use white. I know that's just kind of maybe a goofy color, but here's some more red. Oh, look. Jackpot on the yellow. Okay, let's do yellow. So, all right, let's just do red, orange, yellow. That'll be kind of fun. This is going to be quite the rainbowy piece when we're done, actually. This will be kind of fun. All right. Let's give it a go. All right. We're doing it, everyone. So we're going to start out. I think I can start out going here down. We'll do with some green. That seems easy enough. All right. Got to find an end here. So, like I said, the center down. And we might have to keep adding as we go just because it's going to be such a big bulk here before we have other colors on. Ooh, let's do it this way. It's easier to hold this in this hand here. So this bottom is completely green. So the full... where it touches our axis point here and all the way out, we are going to keep it green. But remember, only halfway up. Get that guy out of my way. And we'll mix some colors together. Maybe I'll do that right now. It'll be fun to mix colors. So we'll have a mix of greens. And, you know, sometimes it will be just one color, and sometimes it'll be more. That'll be kind of fun. I am still working with scraps, though, so who knows how oddball these scraps are going to be. Alrighty, I think this is a good start here. I feel good about this. It's also holding together our piece for us a little bit. Okay, ran out of that first green. Ooh, and not. Maybe we'll do white on the back. We could try and make a cloud on the back. That might be interesting. Don't know how that'll work, but you can give it a go. All right, so here's some green. So again, we are looking at it from this point out, and remember, we're butterflying it open. So anything touching this green will be this on this axis line. I'm going to draw that a little bit more. And then as we extend outward from our axis, it's going to be further wrapped. So like this thread, for example, that's farther out here, that's going to end up like out here. So all right, this was going to be blue. So we need to have it touch our axis to about here. And then it needs to go out a little ways too on the bottom. So it needs to go out more on the bottom than it does on the top. So we're going to actually kind of maybe do a little diamond-y shape. So we're going to do hardly any here, and then more towards as we approach the green. So let's see if we can manage that. I'm going to try and get rid of this purple. Let's see if we can, let's do it with these two. So I'm probably not going to use all of this floss. We will, we'll trim it up. Okay, I need an end though. Okay, I'm just tangling this even more. Mess of floss. There, this one looks promising. Let's do that. Okay. So bigger at the bottom. I'm going to start at the bottom, I think. Wider at the bottom. Let's call it wider at the bottom. This is where it's touching the green. And like I said, I think we'll probably add more green in. And I want it to be at that center line this way too. That's this line. So more here, and then, oh, did I not? Let's get rid of some of that. And I'm going to use this teal instead. Get a little bit lighter. All right, so I think that's enough. We have hardly any at the top and a little bit more at the bottom, I think. Let's just trim that. Okay, next up, let's do yellow. So I need to go about this far up. So let's go about 1/4 inch up for the yellow, and then it needs to wrap around this in about the same thickness. So let's see if we can do the same thickness. I'm guessing that our little arcs are not going to be exactly perfectly the same, but we're going to give it a go. You can actually count how many times you've gone around, but I'm going to just eyeball it. All right, so there's the start, but now I need to cover up this blue. So this blue is going to get to the center here. And we're covering that outer bit. All right, I think we got it. Next up, let's do this orange. So we're going to go up a little bit more and then cover all of this up because this has to wrap all the way down to the ground again. Oh, yes, Colleen, this is DMC, mostly, I don't know. This is actually kind of a variant, lots of different flosses. Primarily DMC, because I do have a lot of that. But different kinds. It's scraps from wherever I got scraps from. But it is all 6-strand. All right, now I'm going around that yellow again. Got to cover up that yellow. Well, I'm definitely going to need to put more green too, and this is getting pretty thick already. All that yellow has to be covered. Otherwise, the yellow is going to blend into the orange a little bit. So I think I need a bit more orange. Ooh, haha, perfect. Some of this thread ended up in here because it's kind of broken and weird. But that works for us. This is going to be a fat pom-pom. more at the base here. All right. Next up, oops, let's do this red. Then I want to do a touch of that blue again for the sky. So let's go up a little bit more. Like that far. And now let's get it all the way thick. Hold on. There we are. This needs to get wrapped around all this orange. Oh, a bear pom-pom would be so cute, Sylvia. We're going to add more green, and I do want to cover this with blue yet. We might make the backside just really simple. Maybe more of the blues. Maybe the blues and purples, that'd be kind of fun. I have to make sure all this orange is covered. Covered with a bit of thickness to it even too, so I can see it at the top still. Let's try and get that all covered. This might have a thick orange middle and not as much red and yellow. I'm going to find more red in here. There we go. Ooh, what a mess. I wouldn't have been able to embroider with this, I don't think. This is a big mess. There we go. You love the idea of a cloud on the other side, Christy? Yeah, let's see if we can give that a go. Alright. This might be a little deformed, but who knows? We'll see what it ends up like. Alright, and that part's just weird. You don't want any knots in it because then we won't be able to brush it out very well. So, see how thick this is getting? I'm going to add more green now just to balance that bottom out a little bit more because I want them the same kind of thicknesses. Messy. This might actually be more than one piece. Ugh, we'll see. So I'm just trying to add thickness to this grassy part. Let's get more of that dark green in too. Oh, there's where it's getting weird. All of the knots. Oh, see, it is 2 pieces. Heh heh. Out of here. Oh, it's 3 pieces. Sheesh. Alright, let's call it there. Well, we still have some blue to do, so let's just finish wrapping this. Okay, and let's try and get a little bit of this blue on the outside, and then I think we'll use some of this same blue, although it's probably going to be mostly this blue because I think this is I have more of this in my scraps. But we got to fill in that little gap, and in theory we have to go over this red. Otherwise the red will be the outermost bit, which actually wouldn't be bad. So we still have to have the blue touch the green because some of it touches the green, touches the axis right there. So, and then it goes around the rest of it. Wow. Yep, it was time to use some of this stuff up for sure. Messy. Oh, here's the other end. Let's pull on that. There's our knot. One more knot. Ah, goodness. It's just wrapped around itself a bunch of times here. I think we might just cut it. There we go. Now it'll probably be easy to get apart, and we'll just keep winding. This is gonna extend to the back too in theory, so I'm not gonna worry about this being perfect. There, I think let's add a little bit more green because that's looking a little thin there. And then we'll call it done for this side. And we'll hope that it worked. That'll be interesting. All right, that is pretty dang thick. That's going to be a much thicker ball than this. So the other thing is the size of your ball winder is going to determine the size of your final pom-pom, but you can always cut them down. So actually, if you cut them down, they'll get thicker and thicker. All right, or more dense, I should say. All right, there we go. So here is, again, here's our axis point. That's right there. So if you close this up, you see these outermost, it's like a geode. So these outermost bits, like see right there, that's our blue. And then as we go further in, we got our red, our yellow, or our orange, our yellow, and then our inner bits. So that's how you have to think about it as opening from that center point once it's cut. All right, so that's that. We have a whole nother side to address. I think let's just, first of all, let's draw that axis line. We could try some white because I do have a lot of that white. So if we were to make a cloud, we could go, remember it's also got to be a mirror image. So whatever we do on this side will be the same on this side. So you always got to be thinking kind of a mirror image. So if we go like this here, it's going to go like that on this side. So we could try and do a cloud kind of like this. This is going to be a little tricky, but I think we can do it. So I'm going to give myself, just so I know what the center line is here. So it looks like we have to do the same thing, like here to here. We have to do white, and then it jumps way out. And then here, I got to get a little bit of a different color in here before I start wrapping it in white. So this is going to be the tricky part right there. But all right, let's get some white. And I'm going to need a lot more blue, it looks like, too, which I don't know if I have. I am still using scraps, so we're going to just use whatever I got. And that actually might be this purple now. Okay. I think I'm going to start by putting a little bit here, and then I'm going to think about doing all of this at once. This will be kind of like an arc. And then I'll try and add a whole ton in the center of the white and kind of see where that gets me. So, all right, I'm going to just start with this kind of little wedge of blue that I need kind of below the center. So here we go. Okay, my rainbow's going this way, so this would be the bottom. So it's a little lower than the center, about right there. And we just need a little bit here, and then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker out here, which will extend it outward. Okay, let's just call it at that. And now we need tons of white. Oof, this is going to be a mess, but let's give it a go. I need an end. Here we are. So about from here to now all the way down, I'm going to do white. And I'm going to also cover this blue area that we just did. And then we'll add all the blue on the outside. So remember, this blue is just because we have this little undercut area. You know, another way to think about this is you could fold it in half like this, and then that's the same design that I'm doing here. So hopefully that makes more sense. So here's that little bit of blue that I needed to do, and then I gotta go out with the white. All this gets white. And then it's just these ends that are going to get a little bit of blue. And we're going to have to cover all this up in blue as we get to the outsides. But first, lots of white. So this isn't the fastest thing. I mean, we are still spinning around this one pom-pom, but it does use up tons of floss, and it makes me just happy to be using this stuff up. There'll always be more floss, you know. I'm always gonna have like more projects that, you know, I'll have the floss for, and then I'll have to use leftovers, or I'll have leftovers later, and it'll go in this bin. This bin was down quite a bit, and it filled up pretty quick. All right, it needs to get quite thick, this cloud area here. So again, we're going to be using up like all the white that I have, which is great. Ooh, another little knot. I got a real knot in there. I'm going to actually cut that out, because I won't be able to brush it all pretty if there's a knot. So ideally, I want this side to be as thick as this side, which we got like super duper thick, but we're going to just do what I can do with the white that I have, and then we'll just make the rest blue and purple. We're going to have a lot of bright colors, or like orangey colors in here yet, because we're using up everything else. All right, I'm going to just dump this whole thing out. Here's some solo white, that's good. More in this middle here, and then it's got to jump up quite a bit. So that's like one big bump area. So let's get started on that. We'll just go right here, just a whole pile of white. We can actually probably start getting the blue involved here too. So let's lock down this area over here with some blue. We'll go with blue and purple since I have both of these here. There we go. All right, this is going to determine where that where it bumps up here, and the rest is going to be sky. So all the way to this edge here, we need to go with the sky. I think we have tons of different pieces in here again. There we go. This is fun though. I'm excited. I hope this looks like a... I keep wanting to say unicorn when I want to say rainbow, but I hope this really turns out like a rainbow. That'd be super fun. Here's some more blue. There, so now I'm matching it up to that white point, and now I want that white point to be much taller there. What the heck? This might be end up being a little blobby, but we'll see. Alright, I need to get just the white out of here. It's quite a bit though. Alright, now I want this part to go really high up. So I'm going to just wrap around this one spot just a ton. There we go. And then the other spot that it seemed needed to go high was this bottom area now. There you see how I'm kind of getting this dip. That should hopefully give us our two poofs. We've already covered up our first poof there. It's underneath this blue. Alright, now we're to the mess. Oh, good, I think we got it. Haha. There we go, out of here, orange. We'll get a little bit more here, and I think we're gonna call that for the cloud, and now we need to just keep wrapping this whole thing in blue. So let's see if I can... Oh, we have this dark blue. We could add that to the mix. We haven't really used that yet, though. Oh, here's a whole pile of this blue. Okay, good. Let's use this. And couple of these little lighter pieces. These aren't really anything though, are they? We'll make these some specks. So all right, now I'm going in that wedge a little bit with the blue. Let's get some of this. We'll wrap in some specks of that lighter blue every once in a while. Gosh, I already messed this up with a big knot. I think this is gonna work. I'm excited to see it. Let's fill in the bottom here. Lots to fill in down here. Had a brain freeze there for a second, but I think we're still doing it right. We'll see. Here's a speck of this blue. Let's see. Oh, here's a bit of that blue. Good. And then I think I might actually have to use this really bright blue, which will be a little awkward. We haven't used that yet. Because we do actually have to cover up all of this white yet. We'll use some specks of this other stuff too. All right, random blue, you're next. Oh, that's true. If I ran out of white, I could have used like a gray. I just noticed that I do have a gray in here. This will be like a fun blend of blues. We need to cover up this whole thing. So, and I, in theory, want it as thick on the tops and bottoms as in the middle. We sort of spent a lot of time in that middle area. If I don't cover up all the white, it'll go all the way to the edge, which isn't really that bad. No reason why it couldn't. This is looking all kinds of crazy. I think we kind of call it here. Let's see what we got. Unless I can find a little bit more. I got a little bit more blue. I'm worried that I don't have enough down there. All right, let's just get this bottom area. All right, let's see what happens. We're gonna do this now. It barely fits in here. There's so much. So, okay, in theory, if we look at this again, we'll have to see how close we got to this. In theory, this should be our rainbow with some sky. And this should be our poofy little cloud. So next up, let's get our super sharp scissors. We're all closed up here. And we're going to cut through all this. Now there's quite a bit here, so I got to get in there. I might have to actually go back. So remember, this is where it's opening up from that center. Sharp scissors. Like, you really do need that. And I got this little clip down there. Oh, I'm starting to see the little poof. It's a little bit more there. And we got this little blue wedge. That was this little area. I think it's going to work. So silly. All right. Let's see how well we did on this rainbow. A little worried this part might be goofy. I know the bottom's all green, so that's good. Hooey. Man, you might have to go through layers with this. Ah, but look, it's starting. Ah, it's so cute. Look at just that little itty bitty cut. Okay, now I'm excited. Ah, look it. So fun. Oh my gosh. All right, let's, gosh, I was almost going to open it up. We do need to tie a thread around it. I got this right here. Let's, oh, maybe do better if we used, well, no, it doesn't. Well, maybe we should use white. Then we won't have a different color going through the white. So I do have some white hanging out yet. Just need an end. All right, so let's start here. We're jabbing it in the middle of this, and I'm just going to cut a big piece here. All right, tie a knot. Or maybe I should end up with the knot at the bottom. Then we can see, or at the top. We'll do it at the top because then we can hang it from the top like this. We'll do it from here, and then both sides will hang correctly. So that's a good way of doing it. They'll both be upright, is I guess what I'm saying. Ugh, attached to things. Oh, I'm all fumbly now. All right. We're squeezing all that in, and now let's do like that little double knot. Okay, moment of truth, let's do it. I'm really excited for this. Okay, let's pop these open. Oh gosh, it's tough. There you go. It's gonna look like a little person. I suppose that's kind of what the shapes we made it in. Oh yeah, so I think I'm gonna order some of these if you guys are interested, and they just might take a little while to come in. But I'll relink to this video once they do arrive, so you guys can watch this again, and or we can do it again too. That'd be fun. All right, this is annoying. I'm snipping this. There we go. All right, let's pull it apart. Oof, that was not that hard. All right, let's give it a little shake. See what our initial look is. And see, now this is where the trimming really comes in, because right now it's all sorts of crazy. But as we trim this down, it will look more and more. So we might actually make this one kind of small. So I'll show you, like, the closer and closer you get to the inside, the more defined this is going to be. But we do have our start of the crazy. So, all right, let's brush it out first. Here we go. So again, this brushing it out is separating the strands of 6-strand embroidery floss, so it's turning into like 1 strand instead of 6. So it should be nice and silky. Getting rid of fuzzles. And then we'll trim this way down, and that should reveal our guy a little bit more. But even without trimming it down, it's pretty cute. All right, let's start trimming it. And actually, you know what? We don't even need this hang tab. We can put that in later. I might actually, well, no, let's just leave it. It's something nice to hold on. So, all right, let's shake this out. And let's start surgery on it, basically. So I'm going to cut it quite a bit smaller. And it will start to reveal itself a little bit more. And if you use like a wool, if you're doing this with like a wool yarn, this will even get more defined. But here already, I cut this way down, and you can see a little bit more definition. So we're gonna just keep going. We're gonna get a whole bulk off, and then we'll see what we got. It's so silly. Pom-poms are silly. It's fun though. Look at this kind of rainbow mess we're gonna have. Oh, you're right, Catherine. These would make such cute ornaments. You could do like stars in them, or even, you know, even nothing, even just like colorful stripes. Oh, I'm definitely gonna start sneezing soon. This is what, you know, I should be using my face mask for, really, is to deal with all this fluff. I have noticed that since we all started wearing face masks, I am wearing them for other things a little bit more often. I'm really going to cut this rainbow down. Let's see if we can get that. I have a feeling, especially after we did the cloud, that I should have maybe put a lot more color on for the rainbow. But I think we're going to get our concept still. So you really can cut off a lot. And I could make the cloud poofy by cutting around all the stuff on the outside and leaving the cloud longer, the cloud bits. Then it would even be poofier on there. But I think I'm going to just kind of go for a general, like you can really shave in there is what I'm saying to create the shape that you want. Okay, let's give this a shake. See where we're at. Ooh, fuzz-ulls. Oop, I think I pulled a bit out. You know what, I think I'm going to cut this white because it's a little bit into my rainbow and I don't want it to be there. So I'm going to just brush this forward. There we can see the rainbow starting to come through. You're literally like trimming hair. Like this is you're not literally trimming hair obviously, but this is like trimming hair. You're just gonna get shorter and shorter. Cut any of these loose little bits. It's coming across though. Style it. Alright, so here's that inner bit. You can cut that down. And I could do this all night, really. All this cutting down. But there, we sort of got a little rainbow happening here with some blue sky around it. I think that's kind of cute. There we go. Kind of a rainbow, right? All right, and then, oh, look at our cloud over here. But you can kind of see where we tried to, it got a little bit thicker there. We do have kind of a bloop. We got some of our bloops going. Let's trim it way down. Let's see what we got. And here's where you can actually make it the shape you want. Like if you want this whole thing more oval, you can do that. And if you want to add a string back into it, you can just take a needle. Let's defluff here for a sec. All right, here's our little puff ball, our little kind of rainbowy poof ball. So I think I want the thread to go right at the top there. So I'm gonna just grab a longer needle. And let's choose a blue because we're going to be coming out of the top. So, all right. Got this random pieces of blue. Oh gosh, this is an all tangled piece of blue. Let's snip it there. And I guess we're making it this long before it gets tied into another knot. So you can just kind of come down or go down through here and come back up. So let's go right through the top, kind of going right through the middle. And we're just going to go back up. And that should do the job. So there we are. There we go. There's our little rainbow. Got a little rainbow poof, little ground, and our silly little cloud in the sky. So if we keep cutting on this, everything should get more and more defined. Like we could keep getting this smaller and smaller, which I'm kind of tempted to do, but we're a little over already tonight, so maybe we just end it there. But there, that's how you kind of draw in. Oh, I should keep cutting this. I'm gonna cut this for 2 more minutes, you guys. I know we're super late. Like I've been here a while already, but I really want to kind of cut this down more. It's fun. So you can tell that the more you cut off, the denser it gets. Like it doesn't have as many of the little floofs on the outside. So you gotta kind of decide what look you want. Do you want it to see it all, like, see the ends more, or do you want to define the shape a little bit more? But yeah, so the more I cut, the more I'm getting that shape. At some point you gotta stop, right? Because you're gonna get to the middle. Alright, I think for the sake of being done, let's be done right there. I'm gonna shake it up again. Looks like I have maybe some long fuzzles on the top. But I think we'll just keep them there. There we go! Fuzzy little rainbow, sort of. And our fuzzy little sort of cloud there too. The little fun specks. Alright, so there are our two little fellers for the evening. I think they turned out pretty cute! Alright, you guys, I'm going to flip you around. Alright, so let me show you guys these again. And I have massive amounts of embroidery floss yet left, so we got more to use up. Use the cloudy side. You get the concept a little bit there. So if you do use like a wool yarn, you're going to get more definition, and you're actually going to be able to kind of felt that a little bit, and that's really going to help define shapes. So if you really want to get a really detailed shape, I would suggest using a wool yarn. But even with this floofy embroidery floss, we are still getting that effect, and regardless, this is just kind of cute like this, isn't it? I mean, if it's just colors, it just looks like a tie-dyed, it's like a tie-dyed pride poof ball. All right, you guys, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out with me again tonight. I know we went quite a bit over, but it's just a fun way of doing this. I gotta clean up this fuzzle mess now. So again, this week we're kind of keeping it up for grabs for projects. So if you have a project you want me to work on, suggest it in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. This is a free week basically, and it's also will be Finish It Friday, which will be this Friday. It'll be the first Friday of the month. I'm splitting up this week I'm doing other random things this week because it's half June and half July, and typically I start our weekly projects on the first full week, and this didn't really feel like a nice full week this week, so it's a free week. Awesome, you guys. Thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.